Right then, David Ornstein broke some monumental news that United are working towards appointing Christopher Vivell as part of the transfer guru behind the scenes at the club. It is expected that Vivell will initially join the club on a short-term basis, yet he is probably going to have to play a real crucial role in the recruitment process at Manchester United, starting before he even gets through the door, I would imagine. So who is he? I didn't know. I'd never heard of him. So I've had to go and do the research and have a look. And there is actually a lot of good press surrounding him, and for good reason. So let's take a look at him. So he is 37-year-old. He's German. He was previously employed by RB Leipzig and actually most recently Chelsea. He is originally from Karlsruhe in Germany and was a centre forward in his playing days, featured mostly in the German lower leagues. Hoffenheim was the club that gave Vivell an opportunity in recruitment, and do you know what? Did all right there, I think it's fair to say. He started as an analyst for the club at just 23 back in 2010. And he started working with the second team before being promoted to the first team in 2013. His work at Hoffenheim hit Red Bull Group radar in 2015, and they made him Red Bull Salzburg's head of recruitment, head of scouting, quite soon after. He spent 5 years there, and Salzburg recorded some of their most successful years with Vivell involved. Salzburg's promotion in 2017 had his fingerprints all over it. And after those years, obviously staying within the RB group, he moved to Leipzig, where he spent another 2 years as a technical director. That Germany led him to Chelsea in 2022 in a similar role, but he left the club quite quickly, giving him little to no time to make an impact. He was placed on gardening leave by Chelsea back in July, only 7 months after his arrival at Chelsea, and I can't find out the reasons behind that. I would presume it's maybe something to do with the new ownership or whatever. So if anyone has more info on that, please let me know in the comments. Now, the role that he will take up at United, I think he'll be coming to give his knowledge of operating in a multi-club model partially, but also I would expect him to explore the idea of recruiting some players that maybe don't initially come straight into United, but maybe come through Nice, get a little bit of experience and eventually end up at United. The expertise from him is talent ID and player recruitment. He's obviously going to work in close collaboration with Dan Ashworth and Jason Wilcox as they identify the best potential signings for United, I assume, starting this summer. Could he be brought in to identify not just players for now, but for the future as well? Because that seems to be what all of the clubs he's been at, bar Chelsea, operate on. Let's have a look at some of the players he's signed, because there's a lot to unpack from the different articles, but he is highly experienced in terms of recruitment, and he has some successes that he can back it up with as well. So in the 7 years in the Red Bull Group alone, he signed Erling Haaland, Benjamin Sesko, Mwepu, Mohamed Kamara, Josko Vardiol, Enzo Fernandez, Badiashile, Patson Daka. And there's some good names in that, considering the club that he's been at. Right, we've got another one here for you then, and it is brought to you by the Spring Cleaning Aces Manscaped. This season, it's all about sorting out your carpets and the drapes of the big names in below-the-waist grooming. Say goodbye to winter fuzz with Manscaped's Lawnmower 5.0 and watch as your confidence blooms like those April showers, Mayflowers. Step into the season and join 10 million fellas worldwide who put their trust in Manscaped. Dash over to manscaped.com, throw in the code Howson for 20% off and nothing on the postage. After getting acquainted with Manscaped, I am all in that spring fever. Let's welcome the season's champion, the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. There are 2 interchangeable heads, one for a standard trim and the new foil blade for when you're in the mood for smooth. You've got LED lights. You can take it in the bath so you don't have to worry about the cleanup. It'll go in the shower. It's waterproof. Go wherever you want with it. And it's also a nice compact case that it comes in. It is the go-to travel companion. And don't forget, spring cleaning isn't just about your balls. It's about the full grooming experience with Manscaped as well. You've got the Beard Hedger Pro Kit and the Handyman Electric Face Shaver. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code Howson. Nothing quite like a little bit of spring cleaning in your kecks. Go get it done. If you're being pessimistic, you could say, is there too many people getting on board in terms of the recruitment? Is there too many egos? I think when you look at what United have done in recent past, I think it's needed. I think United's recruitment has been very obvious recruitment. I don't think there's been any risks. I think outside of Palestri and Ahmad, and I don't know what happened that window, outside of Palestri and Ahmad, where's been the sort of real intelligent recruitment that we've had? Well, Bruno Fernandes was obvious. Sancho was obvious. Varane was, I mean, that window of Sancho, Varane and Cristiano Ronaldo, honestly, who come up with that? Honestly, who came up with that? Who was like, yes, this is a real astute window? You know, when you look at the prices we pay for players, we don't get anything on the cheap. I think recruitment meetings probably should be a bit of an argument, and I would like to see people presenting multiple options for United to create shortlists from that they go and then work on. Because I also think that being backed into a corner over signing one player is something that United have suffered with. But either way, United are signing a transfer guru. I think this is maybe what Mitchell was being lined up for, and I really wanted him for, which is, for whatever reason, has not happened. But he has got it in his locker to transform a club's recruitment. Seemingly got an eye for developing talent. That's obviously desirable to any club that you go to. But we'll do well to get this one over the line. And possibly even in the short term, he could leave the club in a far better place than where he finds it. And if it's about signing the next Haaland, the next Vardiol, the next Enzo Fernandez, then there's a real potential for that appointment to be a hit. But let's see how it goes. You know, this squad that Ineos are putting together has got a lot of pedigree surrounding it now. Seems like there's a lot of people coming in, but importantly, there's a lot of people coming in with legitimate football experience elsewhere. Now, they all come together. Hopefully, they create something bigger than the sum of its parts. But I would say it's better than having people who've just worked at United their entire career, and not necessarily even in recruitment either. Doing the recruiting, because I think that's where we've cocked it up massively in the past. But I would say the way Ineos have gone about restructuring this sort of front of office is very impressive. Let's see the fruits of it now. And I don't know if you're going to see the fruits of it in this window. It might not be that easy for us to do this window, but I would expect windows going forward, United to have a completely different outlook about them. And we need to. Give us your thoughts. See you in the next one. Bye-bye. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.